roast ginger, carrots and parsnips, one of the easiest vegetable side dishes that I make on a regular basis. So for this, we're going to chop up some carrots, parsnips, some fresh root ginger, and use some fresh thyme. You're going to need some knife skills though in order to be able to do this. So we're going to start off by chopping up our carrots into classic French batons, and then I'm going to show you the easier way to do it. So to start it off, peel your carrots with a sharp peeler. Make sure not to peel yourself. Pop your peelings into a waste bowl. They can then make its way into your compost heap or whatever you do with it. And chop and tail your carrot. Now this is much easier to practice on with really big carrots. So in classic French cuisine, when your knife skills have to be absolutely perfect and everything has to be symmetrical, you would measure the length of your carrot as a 4-finger width. So that would be one 4-finger width. That would be another 4-finger width. And I would just about be able to use the last piece. If that was too long or too short, I'd trim it or either use the piece for something else. We need to create a little box shape for this so that all our batons are nice and square. So you square off your carrot like so. Now this is going to waste a tremendous amount of carrot if you do it the traditional French way. And then to get batons, you then cut your little box into sticks like this. Now, if you're getting julienne vegetables, you would literally just slice them really thinly into thin sheets and then into little matchsticks. But the easier way to do it is once you've peeled your carrot, topped and tailed it, slice it down the middle, and then just slice it into little sticks. Simple as. Very quick and easy and doesn't waste any carrot. So that's our carrot done. You can do the same with your parsnips. The end of the parsnip is always a bit skinnier, so just halve that, and the top fat bit you can cut into, say, 4 or 5 or 6. Now the interesting one is the ginger. People always enjoy watching this and doing it. This is a nice big piece of ginger. So when you're selecting a nice lump of ginger to purchase, try and get one with a big knob in the middle. And to peel it, what you'll need is just a teaspoon. This is great if you've only got a tiny bit of ginger and it has to go a really long way. So if you just take an ordinary teaspoon, and can you see the way I'm scraping it away from me? And this is useful because you're literally only taking the skin off. So you're not going to waste any little bits of ginger. You can use that for something else. And there we go. Smells absolutely delicious. I would highly recommend using fresh ginger for this recipe because the ground ginger is wonderful, very useful, but more suited to baking and for making mulled wine, of course, and things like that, whereas fresh ginger just has such a wonderful aromatic taste. So get rid of all your peel, not that there's very much, as we used our teaspoon. Now, I want to use my ginger more like a vegetable than grating it in or, chopping it really, really finely. So it's the same technique I use for the carrots, I'm going to use for the ginger. So what I tend to do is cut this into very thin slices. Now you can, of course, use a small knife for this if you don't have a chef's knife or you're not feeling that confident. But you want really thin sheets of ginger because ginger has got quite a lot of heat to it. It does have spice. So we layer it up and then chop it into little matchsticks. So our ginger will roast up with our other vegetables and give us a wonderful aromatic, sweet, yet slightly spicy taste. This is also fantastic for stir fries, doing your ginger like this. Because by cooking the ginger, you are going to soften that heat that would naturally occur in it. So there we go. So we have everything ready. I've just melted down some butter and honey. We've got our julienne fresh ginger. We've got our carrots and batons and our parsnips and batons. You'll notice that I've got my parsnips sitting under water with some lemon juice in it, and this just prevents them from discoloring. So a really important tip that you do that. So now just for the assembly, I've got a nice heavy roasting dish here. You can make a much larger version or 2 smaller ones of these. This is a lovely side dish for autumn, or really for any time of year, so I don't think we ever stop eating carrots, but I do think parsnips always remind me of autumn time. So I'm going to do a fairly small one today, nothing too big. Now you want equal quantities of carrots and parsnips. You don't want one vegetable to dominate the other. And a couple of tablespoons of the julienne ginger. Wonderful. And what I love in roasted vegetables is some sort of fresh herb, but you need something that's quite woody, that's not going to go up in flames in your oven. So rosemary would be lovely. I've got fresh thyme here. So just roll the thyme between your hands, and that's just to release the natural essential oils. And stick it in between your vegetables. Now this is the melted butter and honey. And this just adds a nice sweetness to it. And the melted butter is also going to help your root vegetables roast up and go lovely and brown. Absolutely gorgeous. You can use a mixture of butter and olive oil, but a very light olive oil. You don't want a very strong Mediterranean taste, because this would be a really earthy winter or autumn root vegetable recipe. So give everything a good mix. Now this will take about half an hour in a hot oven. Now we haven't blanched our root vegetables first, meaning we haven't plunged them in boiling water. So that's why we cut them till they're quite small. So what you want to achieve by roasting it in the oven is to make sure the vegetables are soft in the middle with a bit of caramelization on the outside. So we'll pop these in for half an hour and see how we get on and see how soft they are and how caramelized they are. So we'll check on those in a short while and be back with you. Our roast ginger, carrots and parsnips are perfectly tender and wonderfully caramelized, so they're ready to come out of the oven. Smell the ginger, absolutely gorgeous. So there we go, roast ginger, carrots and parsnips, the perfect autumn vegetable side dish.